Hello and welcome to highlights of the 7th edition of the Brabantse Pijl. Starting in Lennik, finishing in Overijse, 16 degrees Celsius for the riders, 18 km/h southerly winds, but there would be rain forecast throughout the day. Heading out of Lennik, first climb coming early on in the day, but there would be 24 climbs in total, with the climbs of the Hertstraat, the Moskestraat, the Holsteider, the Esport, Overijse, the Haggard, before they headed in towards the finish. It took a long time for a breakaway to become established, but inside 80 kilometres to go. It's Amber Kraak of Team Jumbo-Visma that went on the offensive. The former rower, who picked up her first win as a pro recently in the Limburg Classic, hit the punishing slopes of the cobbled Moskestraat, which is fast becoming an iconic climb in this area. It featured in the World Road Race Championships last year. Behind, though, many riders coming to a halt, including Taylor Wiles of Trek Segafredo. The slippery cobblestones, tough to get going again as you come to a halt. Kraak, though, was joined at the front by Niamh Fisher-Black, Paulina Royakkers, Shirin van Anrooy, Paola Patino, and also Liane Lippert. It was the start of a dangerous group, and this would be very much the pattern for the rest of the race to come. The young New Zealander from Team SD Works was looking to try and establish a move at the front, but the ominous presence of Liane Lippert perhaps was the reason that things were brought back under control. Many teams at the front keen to keep things under control. For Trek Segafredo, they have world champion Elisa Balsamo in the team. Alison Jackson had led teammate Marta Jaskulska into the climb, and the young Polish rider launched a move over the top, which would take another dangerous group clear, with Swiss champion Marlen Reusser through to the front, and it would be the power of Reusser that would take the group off the front. The peloton, though, was splintering into groups behind the tough finishing circuits, would whittle the groups down to a very select few. Kasia Niewiadoma, Liane Lippert, Silvia Persico, Niamh Fisher-Black had also made it into the group. Alcini had been dropped on the Moskestraat. Vittoria Guazzini of FDJ Nouvelle Aquitaine, Futuroscope, Lut Adegast also of IBC team. Onto the Hertstraat. With 37 kilometres to go, the gap was down to 30 seconds, and Jumbo-Visma had brought things close enough for Corinne Lebecki to launch herself across the gap. And with 37 kilometres to go, it was all back together yet again. Demi Vollering had made it into the mix. It was Paulina Royakkers that launched the move with 28 kilometres to go. The teammate of Kasia Niewiadoma, though, took Demi Vollering with her. And these two riders would work well together. Demi Vollering looking to pick up her first victory of 2022. They were in sight of the chasing group. That included the likes of Mavi Garcia, Liane Lippert, Juliette Labous, Shirin van Anrooy in there for Trek Segafredo. The young Dutch rider was showing great class. Juliette Labous of Team DSM went on the attack to try and get up to the group. She closed within 10 seconds. The second and third groups, though, would come back together, and this would allow world champion Balsamo back into the mix. At the top of the climb, Vollering looked back, saw that Labous was starting to get close. Onto the Moskestraat, though, and Vollering managed to distance Royakkers on its steep slopes, maxing out at just under 15%. The final ascent of this climb, it would be all about Demi Vollering from this point on. Second place in Amstel Gold at the weekend. She had missed out on Brabantse Pijl in 2021, edged out in a photo finish to Ruth Winder, the American national champion of Trek Segafredo. She was leaving nothing to chance this time. Royakkers, though, was swept up by the group behind. Lippert and Labous from DSM, with Marlen Reusser of SD Works getting a free ride in towards the finish. Vollering, though, was extending her gap all the time and was going to have the opportunity to enjoy the victory. Niewiadoma, though, on the S-Bocht for the final time, was looking to try and drag and disintegrate the group behind. Lippert was still with her. Vollering, though, takes her first victory of 2022, and that'll give her a massive boost in confidence going into Flèche-Wallonne next week, and also a defence of Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Niewiadoma crossed the line for second, just ahead of Lippert, while Marlen Reusser had to settle for fourth. A perfectly executed team victory yet again for Team SD Worx, delivering Demi Vollering to the win in Brabantse-Pijl. Vollering takes her first solo victory as a pro. This time she got to enjoy it. Her road victories in the past have all been won in sprints. She takes it ahead of Kasia Niewiadoma, Liane Lippert, Reusser, Labous, Royakkers, Persico, Moolman Pasio, Bertizzoli and Manley, your top 10. Many riders will now head towards Paris-Roubaix before they head towards La Flèche-Wallonne, Hilly Classic and Liège-Bastogne-Liège to come in a week's time.